Support for 100 Watts in a Wire is provided by Bioenno Power. If you're looking for a power solution, check out Bioenno Power, offering the best performance lithium phosphate batteries for your ham radios. Visit bioennopower.com. That's BIOENNOPOWER.com or contact dealers nationwide. And LDG. LDG makes small, lightweight tuners ideal for portable and emergency operations. Some can operate on internal batteries for months of normal use, making them easy to carry, install, and use in the field. Visit ldgelectronics.com.
And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
Well, hello, brothers and sisters. It's Christian. My call sign is Kilo Zero, Sierra Tango Hotel, and welcome to 100 Watts and a Wire. The 100 Watts and a Wire podcast can be found wherever you get your podcasts. And this is episode 319. This week, we're going to talk about antenna masts at home. Antenna masts at home. We also have our net going on in the background here. If you're watching this, now you can listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcast. Take it with you on the plane, travel, cut the grass, whatever you like to do, you can do that. And you can watch it streamed live on Sundays at 7 o'clock Central. Some people are doing that tonight. Appreciate you stopping by. A Sidecar Steve is actually on assignment right now, and I don't even say that in a funny sense. He had a car turnover. Maybe we'll hear about it tonight. So he was being a firefighter first of this evening. 7228 is our net. If you are watching and playing along at home, welcome to you. Do a little bit of recap of my week. I hope everybody's good. A lot going on and just everywhere today. At game time here, 75 degrees. 75 degrees outside. 74 here in the studio. I don't know, because it's just one of those things. We had like a storm. There was tornado warnings going on till 10 o'clock tonight. I may have to unplug. It's one of those. You would think it's spring or sometime in the summer. But there you go. You're welcome to join us on Discord as well. I'll put that link. It's in the description of this, the video. If you're watching, I'll put it in the chat. And you can search for it if you like. If you're listening to this later, you can join us. Maybe we'll take some calls tonight. Flying solo. No Sidecar Steve for now, but perhaps later. Hopefully he was able to help somebody get to a hospital and everything was okay. Firefighters' work is serious business, and we appreciate the effort. Good evening to our folks. We've got some net operators tonight. Here they are on your screen. N2HYG, you'll hear him 7228. Go ahead and spot him up if you'd like. We got good signals going on. We also have Don, who's serving as a relay, because tonight the fellows want to look for low power stations, 5 watts, all the way up to 1500, but they'll be looking for QRP 100 watts or less tonight. So listen, and you can get in to that, and you'll see Don doing some work there. He's on your screen if you're watching there. Don is Kilo Charlie 0 Delta Whiskey Zulu. And you hear Uncle Paul there, November 2 Hotel Yankee Golf. Now, like I normally do, let's talk about what you did this week in amateur radio. What did you do? It was a really pretty low-key week for me. I heard a little bit of the school club roundup. As I was traveling around, I was the daddy wagon, if you will, taking my girls around to their different classes and obligations. School is back in heavy, as you know. And October 31st falls next week, so we have to kind of figure out when I'm going to do a show next Sunday. We've got some days in between, but it's deeply unlikely I'll do a 7 p.m. We're going to be tricking and treating out here in St. Louis in this area. They didn't do this in Baltimore that I knew of. You know, we went from row home to row home, and we would sometimes just skip right over the wall and going down and all that. Here, you have this option to tell a joke. Do you guys know about it? It's like a trick-or-treat thing, but it's like a joke. You can tell a joke or something like that. And so they arm the children with these one-liner Bob Hope style type of jokes. It's kind of cute, but it's different out here in the Midwest, where I live now. I grew up in Baltimore, and we didn't do that. You held on tight to the candy. You looked around all the time, make sure everything was all right. And you could collect bags of candy because we grew up with row homes. You just go one straight on down the block, and you do two streets, man, you were good to go. As far as the podcast goes, that's going to fall next week directly in line with trick-or-treating. And we live out in the country, so we got to take the girls to other places where they've got some homes to trick-or-treat. Out here is like 6 houses around here. Anywho, we'll keep you posted on what happens next week. The audio podcast listeners, it really won't matter. I'll probably do something early in the day. Today was a pumpkin carving day. You know that, right? If you got young kids, you're doing it too. And that's what I was up to today with my girls. My big girl, she's able to carve her own pumpkin. So we've got to the point right now this year where she can do it herself. My 7-year-old, you don't want her running around with. Very good, very detailed, but still would not be wise to have a 7-year-old doing that. Looking into ham radio, a lot of listening, school roundup, like I mentioned, going back and forth. Steve had a birthday on Friday, so we say happy birthday to Steve, W7UDI, who hopefully will come in and join us. If not, maybe in the post-show. The other part is, this is being recorded live, and we're having this storm roll in. We'll see where we are here in about 30 minutes. But did you make any contacts? I hope you did. Let's start tonight. Look at this. Ain't this something? Look at this. I think this is something else right here. Check this out. Sidecar Steve has made it in. Hello, friend. How are you?
Just got back. Hello. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing all right. I've had several of these now, and I'm like, Steve's not going to be here.
Yeah, a little busy this afternoon.
Yeah, I bet you were. It sounds, it's kind of scary business. What's going on? Is it ice out there? Just people just being silly?
It's wet. Speed. Basically speed. We've been raining all day, and people are just not heeding to the conditions. So
gotcha.
It is what it is.
Well, I hope everybody it shook out okay, and you came home feeling all right about your effort. And welcome to the show. We just catching up here. We've got some storms kind of kicking up around here in the Midwest, tornado activity, and my game time temperature I mentioned to everybody 75 degrees, which was kind of bizarre because we've been in the 40s. Mid 40s, hanging out about 45, 49. Today, it's shot back up to...
We're 53 right now for us.
It's nutty. It's nutty there. We were just talking a little bit about antenna masts and what you do at home. I know there's a lot of different options out there for people who like to do their portable stuff. But as we like to do, we like to put it back to the people. We want to know what you're using and what you're doing. But before we go to that, what did you get to do any as we debrief here, kind of this as we debrief at the opening of the show about the week that we had? Did you get to do anything fun this week on radio?
A little bit. Just the other night, just getting out there, and then the contest hit, and it was like, the sprint came up last night, and kind of knocked a few QSOs out. But it was like, it's the contest. It's great. It's after I just kind of went to the side, basically listened to a conversation on 7192, and guys were just yakking away, and unfortunately, a contester came on and started calling on the for the sprint, and I'm just going to basically figure that he didn't hear the other two guys. And then all the others just started piling in, going, answering the CQ contest. And the two guys, I got to hand it to them. They were truly gentlemen, truly a great representation of the hobby. They didn't get mad. They just said, "Hey, let's just go ahead and finish our conversation here and move on and let the guys contest." And it's it happens. People don't hear others, and
Right. And it's such
then
a quick thing. It's so weird. They do the contact and they disappear. They give it up and the next one takes it. It's kind of confusing to me. It's like bang, bang, bang. And
yeah, you make a call on the frequency. The person that you talk to, now they get the frequency, and it's just the sprint is kind of interesting. But it was nice to see some gentlemen reactions on the band. There was no F-bombs being dropped and things like that. So yeah, I mean, we all have to get along, and that was great. I was really pleased to see and hear that last night on the air.
Well, before we get into the antenna masts part, which is what we're going to talk about that casually today, we did not get to properly talk about this. Lord have mercy, Lordy, it makes me feel things inside. This is Steve's new arrangement, if you will, up there on his tower. Last week's show, we were talking about the gentleman's band. You heard Steve talk about the operators being gentlemen, and it doesn't. Oh, geez, it goes back to Bob Heil. I think it's even in his emails now that it's not the class of the operator. It's something about how classy the operator is, or something like that. And talking about the gentleman's band, they're trying to tie that knot together. Last week, you got called out to help someone on a call. And we didn't get to hear about this sexy little thing right here. And I showed it. But of course
I couldn't.
That
thing is big.
I know it's big. We didn't get to talk about it now. And I couldn't really... I know what I'm looking at, but I didn't know which was the 160. Can you tell from here?
160. So you see that short cross arm above the rotor?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that is the 160 antenna on that short cross arm.
Okay, so it's closer to the tower there.
Yes.
Gotcha. The highest crossbar.
The highest crossbar right underneath the beam.
Oh, man.
The one lower, the one to the right, is the 40-meter double bazooka, and the one to the left is the 75-meter double bazooka.
Okay. There you go. Beautiful. Have you been able to... how's it playing? What have you done so far? I know you tested it a little bit. What'd you find?
I haven't got on the air. My noise floor is ridiculously high. I can't believe it.
Is it? Is that your neighbor's shop, or do you think, or is it just?
No idea. I'm just trying to figure if it's not just atmospheric here, but it's S7 to S9 and into the evening. But there was the contest last night going on, the CW, the Stu Perry 160 contest. So there was a lot of CW activity, and everybody was, S9 plus. And then there was, I did come across some AM activity at 1945, and they were quite strong also.
Okay.
But I'm just kind of going to see how the band reacts. It's
we're going to test that. We're going to do it.
I'm new. This is a new territory. I haven't really played with 160. I played with it a little bit years ago, but nothing from this location. So it's going to be a new adventure.
I'm going to have to paraphrase this, but Steve at some point this past week was like, man, that's a lot of wire. And it is, man. It is. It's exciting, and it's a lot of wire. That's a lot of wire.
Thank God I'm not playing with 2,200 meters or that 630 band.
Hey,
now that's a lot of wire.
I mentioned your birthday was on Friday, and we put a little thing in the Discord just to show you some love and appreciation. Some of our friends who've gathered here today. So Friday, it's marked on my calendar. It just shows up. I hope you had a good day. Mark sends happy birthday sidecar.
Thank you, Mark.
And Oma says happy birthday, Steve. So we're getting a little bit of messages in there. Todd, KY4TG, says happy birthday, sidecar, Steve.
Thank you,
It was on
Todd.
Friday, but we didn't get to spend much time talking about it outside of the Discord a little bit.
Yeah, this work week was busy. I sent you those pictures, and then I put it up on the Discord, our fiber repairs that we were doing out at the wind farm. And playing in the dirt, and then Friday I had to go over to what we call the west side, over into the Seattle area, down around Federal Way, to one of our substations to take care of a radio problem. So it was my behind is a little sore from doing a lot of miles this week.
Did you have to sleep over? Did you have to? Was it overnight?
Yeah.
Oh wow, man! Happy birthday, belated to Rosa. Her birthday was on the 14th.
Oh, great! Happy birthday, Rosa.
A little late for us, but hey, come around. We're 10 days late, but still nothing but love for you. Hello to Wes and some of our other friends who've gathered here today. Well, we know that Steve, his butt hurts. He's not butt hurt, as the kids like to say. He is just hurting from sitting so long.
Yeah, it's old. Getting old is a
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. We're trying to get the children's in here. No, I'm just teasing. Well, we know how Steve supports his side, and this is how Steve. That's his antenna mast. Now, this isn't for everybody. Everybody can't do this. It's beautiful. Steve has worked over 40 years to make this happen, and it is a thing to admire. It is beautiful. And so we're talking about other ways, other kinds of mast, and what you use at home. That was the question. I know Steve doesn't like this. I'm not in a position to just preach to you and tell you what to do. So it's good for us to hear what our community is using, what works for you, because we've said this many times, what works for me might not work for Steve. That antenna he sent to me might play differently here in my area. So this isn't about trying to tell you what to do. Let's find out what you guys do and what works for you. But right, you'd hear this.
That is the craziest thing. No audio on that.
But we can look at this. Let's see. I can do it this way. Bill says he's got a couple end-fed half waves, horizontal in different directions, using a Dacron line over a tree limb to hoist it up. So he's using a tree limb.
He's using Mother Nature for masts.
There is a, satellite antenna arm mount, really easy to find, and a lot of houses already have them. My weather station is actually up. So, nice. All right, let me see. So that scene would you have muted audio in that scene? I'm going back to that scene. Okay, I bet you're there now. Now we're there, right? Give me a thumbs up. Everybody hit thumbs up right now, all of you, because I think I fixed it. You did it, you guys. Audio. Yay, you saved the day. It must have audio. Okay, hey, thanks for telling me, Scotty. Show off. I know you play in the audio studios. Thanks so much. That could have gotten really long-winded. Mutant said, sorry, audio folks listening at home. Almost broke a sweat. Monty, let's get back into it. He cut a cedar and a black locust tree and wedged them between 3 T-posts and tied them up with wire. So he used Mother Nature, but he killed the trees, tied them together, and made his own 20-foot tall.
Well, the trees could have been dead before.
He's not a killer. Nice. He's a killer. What are you doing? Cedar's trees smell so good. I had to cut one down a few weeks ago.
But that is so cool.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that's ingenuity. I mean, that's just like, this is what I got, and let's make it happen. That is just awesome.
Thanks for the audio check, guys. Appreciate you. I'll go through and make sure we have audio on these other things that I go to later. That's a good tip. Let's see what Kenny says. At the top of his tower, a stainless steel pipe goes from the rotor to a 3-element beam. From there, I go up another 5 feet with an aircraft aluminum even, tubing for my 13-element 2-meter Yagi.
Nice.
Jeez. Okay, that's serious.
Nice.
John says black vinyl coated fence top rail, 10.5 feet. All right, John. Doug gives an example. He uses a jack height fiberglass push-up mast, and he left a link there. So if you do the Facebook, you put a link in there. for some mounting accessories. If you want to check that out on Facebook. If not, and he's got his ambient weather station. I got it. And the mounting kit for that. I see. All
Nice.
right. Anthony, he uses two chain link fence top rails clamped together. There again, the fence post. Pretty sturdy. Pretty lightweight, too. Let's see, Paul says aluminum sectional military field mix. So those military, we may hear about that throughout this. Those are the kind of like 4-foot sections that will kind of friction together, or you can stack them, in other words.
Right.
And they're pretty good. I have a couple of those. All right. Yeah.
Joshua and his chain link fence tops. That's a theme right now. It's a lot of people are using them.
I think it's free. You can get it. Mark in Maryland says sidecar looking for the best in everyone. Yes. He's a tree killer. He's a killer. We're going to court on this one. But you're right. That's just how he is. Let's see. Doug, he has 3 sections of EMT telescoping inside each other. Each section is bolted in place. He has a pulley on the top. Okay.
Nice.
And then he can
That's the
lower
way to
and
go.
raise his double bazooka. That sounds like a nice plan right there. Keith, lower section is an old TV antenna pipe mast with several sides of EMT clamped together in decreasing sizes. Top is 1 inch diameter. I've made an aluminum crossbar for the very top with light braces and have an end-fed half wave on one side and a G5RV on the other. Oh, there's more.
Nice. There's more.
But wait, there's more from Keith. Not the world's best installation, but it'll do. A week before Hurricane Ida, I added tilt-over base capability, and thankfully it saved it during the storm. Good thinking.
Nice. Very nice. Excellent.
Steve says he does 20 feet of recycled galvanized 3/4 water pipe and for his 2-meter Yagi.
I bet that thing just bent like no tomorrow getting that, getting that thing. Oh, that brings back memories. Oh my gosh, does that bring back memories when I was a teenager?
You have a story, huh?
Oh yeah, used a same 20-foot length of galvanized pipe, but this was for a 5/8 wave 11-meter antenna at my parents' house, and affixed to the chimney, and holy smokes, was that a that was an operation to get up, but once it was up, it was guyed off and it worked. But yeah, 20-foot galvanized pipe. It's nowadays I just go with a aluminum irrigation pipe in 20-foot sections. I don't know if anybody brought any of that up. I was waiting to see that.
Let's continue on. Maybe we'll see it. Dave says, I like to use what some think is overkill. I've seen disasters with lightweight pipe. For full-size tri-band schedule, 40 aluminum. For a stepper or step IR, schedule 80 aluminum. VE3SD. Okay.
Nice.
Chris says he's using 2 aluminum 4-foot military mast sections to hold up his hex beam on a 5-foot Glen Martin roof tower. It's worked fantastic up here in the Northeast. Northeast gets so much wind. I guess they're similar to what you get out there, Steve. That high galloping wind up there in the Northeast. Good deal. David says he used 2 10-foot sections of 1 1/8 inch conduit for 10-element dual polarized 2-meter beam.
Nice.
Ian, we know Ian here, brother Ian, NV4C. I used an old 30-foot Force 12 tilt-over. I like these tilt-overs, man. I like them tilt-overs. Bob, multiple top rail installs, 2-meter quad loops, 32 feet. Let's see. He lists his antennas there with the rotor at the bottom. I had my rotor at the top when I did my pipe. And look at this, Bob's picture here. I don't know how well this is going to come across to you guys, but maybe I can show it. He has got a lot of business going on up here in this house. Accurate weather station. He's got his weather station. There's the 6-meter Moxon. Over here, he's got the 2-meter stacked loops. big old oak tree hovering above it, ready to take it all down for you. I talk from experience. There's the diamond, 2 meter 440. And then the 10 meter dipole he's got up, I guess, above that section. So, yeah, he's got a lot going on in this.
And the 132 foot off center fed dipole. Nice.
Holy moly. Well, thank you for sharing that. Let's see if I can get back here without losing it. There we go. All right, Jeff says he's got 2 pieces of Cyclone fence top rail, another fence top rail. So that's something I hadn't even really figured. And it's coming up quite a bit here. Let's see. Is that Claire? Here's the mast, 35 feet, 6 bands for dipoles. And an image of the house here I'll show that he shared with us. If you want to go back and watch this on video, he's got a lot going on there.
Look at that. Nice.
Ooh, lordy. He's got a lot going on. His neighbors are probably like, it's some of my bitch. I can tell it now.
That's
Good for
a work
you.
of beauty.
It is.
That is
It's
awesome.
gorgeous, man. I just keep going. Okay, where were we? Moving on down a little bit further. Oh, that's it. That's good. Also, though, I want to. You want to comment on any of that, Steve, before we move on?
No, they're great. That's I like the idea of the fence, the top fence rail. It's haven't thought about that, and that's a great idea.
Liberty Cave tells us I've got a tilt-over jack-up, 4 10-foot sections built on a single axle trailer. All right, restoring it, experimenting.
Nice.
Very cool. All right, now we have a Discord server, I guess is what they call it. I'm doing it now. Again, I mentioned it. It's a nice place to go. I started a project over there. People started showing interest, so I just opened the door to anybody. It doesn't matter now. We're just there having fun. Sidecars there. We give morning weather reports. It's probably your fun geeky type of but we do have some fun there. I think it's fun.
Pretty nerdy.
It's super nerdy and fun, but we're together and we're hamily, so oh god, I didn't have an audio on this again. I'll have to go back.
No,
I'll have to say it all. We got it now. I'm sorry, guys. These are all new. You can tell I've been playing around this week. But you guys saw Pastor Joe. I didn't encourage you to break into the window that he has right there. But if you go there, he'll give you coffee and a prayer. Okay. So now we know. Thank you guys for the heads up. Appreciate you. I built new scenes, and it's just how it is. It's the audio at home. They're like, man, this guy will get it right one day. Radio guy, my ass. Scotty says he's got an old Atlas microphone stand. Here's an audio guy for you. An old Atlas microphone stand, okay, on a flat roof with a bracket to the house. The old mic stand with a triangular 25-pound base. That's a heavy base. Good. Then a piece of 10-foot conduit inserted into it, straight up, holding an Aero J pole for the ham, VHF, UHF rig, and a Sinclair folded dipole.
There's that folded die. I remember seeing that in the Discord.
There you go.
It's like, sweet. I saw the folded dipole. I was like, what?
This just in. Todd says, I can't read lips very well. I'm going to get you. I will get you. Thank you for that. Yeah. They were like, ha, ha, ha. It's the funniest joke I ever did. And next thing you know, no audio. Got it. I got it. Lesson learned. Everybody's very nice. Here's Don. He's on the air right now. Don is actually on the air relaying. Let's take a look there. You can see the guys. They're working. Let's bring Steve into the mix here, too. You see N2HYG there. He's running, and he's getting some relay help from Don. I heard Pastor Joe is possibly going to run a little bit on 80 meters tonight, but I haven't heard confirmation.
Looks like Don maybe froze on us.
Don is always holding the knobs. Hold those knobs, brother. Don't let it go. He's keeping his finger in the hole in the boat. If he pulls it out, the water comes in.
We're going down.
Oh, Lord.
Going down.
Chitty, chitty, bang, bang show. Help. Let's see what Don's using. We know he's here. He's frozen. He's got his finger in the hole of the boat. In addition to my 2 indoor garage dipoles, he's indoor with some stuff. For 40 and 20, he has 2 40-foot spider beams on top of his deck with an end-fed random length wire antenna there. The peaks are about 45 feet. I have the inner two sections collapsed. Slopes out 25 feet foreground. He's going to show us a picture of that. He also has a 2-meter J-pole attached to a PVC mast. And you gave him some advice. He said it worked here. Moving the background antenna away from the house reduced the noise level as you predicted, Sidecar Steve. And here is the image there, if you can see that. I'll work on figuring out how to blow it up and make it larger. I think if I do, now I'm probably as maxed out as I can give you at this point. But you see it. He moved it away, and less noise was there, so you helped him there. David.
That's great.
David also, he says he's Alpha India 6 Oscar United, hiding from HOA, VHF, UHF mast. Started as temporary, just 3 sections of 4-foot military fiberglass tent poles in a PVC tube, many repeaters nearby, so even low, I can hit almost everything. Very good. All right. And Scotty and everybody's yelling at me, and we had no audio in there.
No audio.
That's okay. Thank you. We figured it out. I'm glad they're here. Like if we were just here by ourselves, it would be what a crap show that would be. No audio. So there you go. There's a couple of things to think about. Again, take safety into mind where you are. Steve can maybe talk more about to safety and stuff like that.
And, if you're in an older neighborhood or area where you have overhead power lines, be mindful of that, especially with conductive masts or anything. So most newer neighborhoods, the HOA ones are underground wiring, but at least when you're putting something up, look around, make sure you don't get it tangled up into wires. So our safety tip of the day.
Thank you, Liberty K, for letting people know. Help us. It'll teach that algorithm that we're actually a thing, but we're a thing because of you guys, and we appreciate you. I get some questions, Steve, probably once a week. Somebody will write and they'll ask about the 100-watt IDs, and we'll be wrapping up this show soon, shortly here, because we've got a thing coming after, and I have not been seeing lightning strikes in the area. So what happens after this is we do a post-show air check, and what that is I'll kick off another stream here on YouTube, but Steve and I will take some calls. I hope. Can you take some calls at the top of the hour? Are you good?
No.
Did you have dinner and all that? All right.
Oh, yeah, I had dinner. It's just right after dinner, bam.
It's dinner, save a life. I think Sidecar Steve picked up the side of the vehicle and tilted it over and was like, you got the rest. My ass hurts from driving too much this week. I'm out of here. You young guys handle that. So I get asked, and so I did it again. Oops, I'm Britney Spears. This is good. This is all good. This is like a dry run with friends. All right, it looks good, but it's better to sound good. All right, if you're looking for a 100-watt ID, you're going to go to 100wattsinawire.com, click the gathering page. Here, we've assembled some information, very simple. I don't give any of this information away. And what's really handy is, did you forget your ID? This is a cool little section where people are like, I don't know, I think I forgot. And everybody forgets. I totally get it. But it'll give you instructions. If you're using a PC or you're using a Macintosh, then you can do the combination and figure out what your ID is. Give us a little information, just your name, your call sign, your email address, and you're sequentially issued a 100-watt ID. There you can see where we started a long, long time ago. And you can see, instead of scrolling through to look for your name, because we've gone over 5,000 of these have been issued since we started this. Everything's free, but you fill out that form, and you're sequentially issued through an app, and a human will send you an email, and that human is busy. So be patient. 100 watts in a wire. You see, that's a lot. That's a lot of friends there. And a humbling thing is I'll check in with Ian, Kilo India 9 Whiskey, my good friend up in Chicago area, who manages this, and he'll say, yeah, we've got some silent keys. What do you want to do? And I'm like, man, So it's like a real life thing. You see it, and I think we're noting that now that we've actually lost some, you know what I mean, over the time. And Todd says he's number 4,700. That's a nice round number. Happy to have you there, Todd. That's a great number. James says his ID's 3428. We're happy to have you guys. Appreciate you. And, we share these on the net. You may hear a net control operator asking you, do you have one? And you can see the guys working there a little bit. And then sometimes we do our activity days and we give them away there too. And they're worth points sometimes when we have our operating events. All right, yeah, so that's
another easy way. If you want to look up someone's ID, if they don't know it or you're talking to them, just go Control F on your Windows box and just find and then put in the call sign there, and it'll highlight it, and away you go. So it's an easy way to search through the list there, because it is 5,000 members there. That's a lot
too much
of people
to scroll. Yeah, and if you hit, there's information for Apple. Rosa and our friends Scotty and Marty and Todd, they're sharing theirs right now in the chat. We appreciate you guys. Any questions? If you have any questions about it, we have a few minutes. We can hang out a little bit on this session. Apologies on building new scenes and not unmuting them. I totally get it. I like you at this point, since you all are here, open up another browser, right, on 100 Watts and a Wire, the YouTube channel. You can't do this listening at home unless you come back next week and join us live if you want to. You'll be able to open a new stream here as we do the post show. Steve and I will take over the frequency that they're working on right now, which is 7228, and then we'll take some calls for a while. So there we go. If you have any questions about the Masts, you're welcome to email, send them in the Discord. We may be able to get to them now. Just put a Q in front of it so it'll catch my eye as we go. What did we miss, Steve? Did we miss anything tonight? This was a fun one. Covered. I love the people sharing. I realize that, and I won't speak for you, but I'll say my piece first. 2012 is when I was licensed. You're looking at my Elmer. I send him a ridiculous amount of questions. The show developed out of me feeling I was leaning on people too much. I felt like, maybe I need
the show and the Facebook group. You developed a Facebook group too. So.
Yeah, it all came up kind of just because I felt like I was asking the same 2 or 3 people, not the same questions, but I felt like, I must be a pain to these people. And, they would never admit it. They helped me a lot. So then I was like, forget it. I'll just ask Steve every question in the world. It's from galvanized pipe to the birds and the bees. Now I have children. I have a lot of problems.
I warned you.
I try. I really did try. We may take some calls in the next section, too. What we could do is wrap up this show, which had a bit of a focus and a couple of audio glitches, but hey, we figured it out with the help of you. But can take some calls in the Discord. If you go to the Discord, I've set up an area now where the studio phone is, and it gives you some instructions, because Discord is certainly new to me, new to Steve. I've made some mistakes over there too. I wasn't an early adopter of this technology, but I like what you can do with it. And again,
amazing.
I really do think Zucky's losing it, and I love to be able to categorize my thoughts, organize a little bit. Facebook is such a spinning, can be very, I like it a lot, and we've got a lot of people over there, right? It's been very good to us, but ideas just kind of float by. And with the Discord, we can almost all right, I'm going to ask you guys questions, and I'll put it here. If you want to give us a feedback, good. And we do that a little bit on the Facebook, too. We do a weekly question and put it out there. But it's your show. At 2012, I didn't know enough to teach anybody anything, so it just followed my progress. And Steve's been at it over 40 years, and I think would confess that he still hasn't learned everything there is to learn.
God, no. Oh, God, no.
So we're just trying to.
If I learned everything, then that's probably time to put a fork in me and say you're done.
I think you would be bored. Oh, here it is again. There it is. We've hit the time. That's his contract. This is that's it. That's it. No more words. Negotiation. My lawyer will be on in the morning. Yeah, Discord has grown on me a little bit because of the organizational structures of it. To be able to kind of keep things, organized, different thoughts, and I like that idea of it. It's all good, and we're pulling from the community. The idea is, I love this community. We want to know what you're using, what's working for you, what's worked, what's not working. I think these shows and different things can get real preachy. It's hard to hear when you're talking and preaching. It's hard to hear. So for me, it's good to tap into what you guys are dealing with, what you guys have, because everything's so different, Anywho, that's what we try to do around here. Ask the people. I'm not afraid to ask questions, Sidecar. Also, part of his contract is I have to show this. This is in 1978, Sidecar Steve and I. There you see me riding number 8, which I dedicated to Cal Ripken Jr. And, of course, our great helmet. But Sidecar there is focused on where we're headed. The right hand is, I think it's been bronzed and put in whatever. And he still has the Sidecar. 1978, friends. We were number 1. We were number 1. And then we were like, that's it. No more.
No more.
No more. Give us a beer.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, brothers and sisters, we are going to, I hope you opened up that other browser, get ready for the post-show air check, which will, a couple minutes. We'll kick that off in just a few minutes. More casual, laid back. It doesn't go to the audio podcast side. It just stays on the YouTube, but you're all welcome to join us over there. If you're near radio, tune it up
Join us
and
on the
give
air.
us a call. We're on 7228. We will do a handoff from Uncle Paul at the top of the hour. This part of the show I can't talk about because it's grown people needing to go to the bathroom and nobody wants it. There's a little cusp of time here, and it's because Steve and I have to run outside. Take care of yourselves and look after each other, and by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the noise. 73, Steve, and I'll see you in just a little bit.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay, see you over there.
To join the 100 Watts in a Wire community, visit 100wattsintawire.com.